And when I say morning, look at that. Bright and early. 5:40. Yeah, I was here at 4:45 this morning. It's going to be another scorcher. This is like our third day in a row of 91, 93 degrees. We're at 3,000 feet, 3 miles from the Canadian-US border. So it's warm. So we're going to get at this early, put some joists up, put some OSB, insulate the floor. Let's get going. I'll show you what I'm doing. We have our OSB, 7/16 OSB right there. And we're going to use 2x8s for floor joists. I want to make this thing as rodent proof as possible. So I want that OSB to go underneath the joist, not just sitting on top of it for the floor, obviously. So how am I going to do that? I can't nail it from underneath, especially on that side. So what I'm going to do, same thing I did with the ridge cabin, and it worked out well. I'm going to make this subfloor in 3 different sections. 4 different sections. It's 16 feet long. So I'm going to make it in 4 different sections. Basically what I'm going to do is build the floor upside down, turn it over, fasten it to the beams, 4-foot sections at a time. It's just manageable because I'm the only one here. All right, gorgeous day. It's only about 60 degrees so far. Look at this. Right here. This is why we build cabins in the middle of nowhere. Okay, as usual, I'm going to lay out my joist configuration on the beam, but I got to remember that I'm going to take all of this and flip it upside down. So I just got to be careful about that. Okay, quiz time. If our building is 12 feet wide, how long do our joists have to be? 12 feet minus 3 inches. Very good. We have our joists, of course, and then at the ends of the joists, we have a rim joist. Okay, another thing, if you're going to ever do this, because we're going to flip these sections upside down once we get them half built, the bow and the board should go down. Typically, you want the bow up so that when it settles, it flattens out. So we're going to put the bow down because we're going to flip it all over. Okay, did you take my glove? I found it. Okay, since this is all going to get flipped over, these double joists will be at the very end, which is what I want. Just gives me more meat to nail the wall to. So one thing before I tack this down, you gotta remember our rim joist. Leave 1.5 inches, which is what we have. So we're good to go. So I'm gonna tack this corner down, start squaring this thing up. Because I want to make this thing as rodent and bug proof as I can from underneath, I'm just going to put a little bead of adhesive. Caulk would work, I'm sure. I just happen to have a case of adhesive just to seal up any little crack. All right, I don't know about you, but I'd rather nail this OSB down from above. So here's where the magic happens. Put my gloves on. And if you could grab this end, I'll go over and grab the other. Okay, I'll do it. All right, you ready? Just like that. Okay, now I want to square this panel up to the edge of the beam. Also want to make sure my overhang is even on both sides. So we are 8 3/8 right there. 8 1/8. Okay. Nudge this over just a bit. Might be it. Okay, rather than nail this whole thing down, I'm going to put a couple of screws right in the very end here, just to make sure everything is good to go. Okay, 1 of 4 sections complete. That's the process right there. It's pretty simple. And I really think it's a lot easier than trying to go underneath after the fact, hold plywood, nail it up, screw it up, or whatever it has to be. This section right down here, you know, that would probably be doable because it's off the ground, but over there, it's a matter of 15 inches maybe, at the very most, and that doesn't sound fun to me. All right, well, I'm gonna keep going on this. Actually, what I'm gonna do is get rid of the shirt. It's warming up. Okay, I'm down to my last section. The 3 2x8s that I want to use, they're a little bit more wonky than I like. So I am going to straighten them up. So I put a chalk line on every one of these. So here it's at the very edge, but by the time I get to the middle, yeah, there's almost a ½ inch to take off of that one. Almost the same there, just about the same. So I'm gonna straighten those edges up, make me a little happier. Hey, I forgot to cut those joists off. Good thing I didn't nail this one down. Check it out. It's starting to look like something. Okay, now I got to put those double end joists on, and then the rim joists on each side, and I'll be ready for insulation. It's getting there. It is 10:15 in the morning. I might go grab an orange and a drink of water. It's starting to warm up a little bit. Are you guys getting hot? Are you staying cool? Okay, I just want to make sure you get enough water. Okay. It's getting cold. I'm kidding. Putting the old dust jacket on because I'm going underneath. Remember those adjustable pier blocks that are running right down the middle? I'm gonna get under there, hopefully for the last time, and crank those just so they're snug with the sheathing, and that'll be good to go. Well, here, you wanna come along with me, right? Okay, come on, let's go. Okay, I have about 3/4 of an inch above that beam. So I'm going to take that nut and snug that up. Okay, snugged up. Okay, we have that middle beam firmed up, and we're ready to tighten all this down to all of the beams. So I ran out of battery. I was just crawling out from underneath there, and my phone died. It's warm and it doesn't like that. So, and of course I'm filming everything with my phone. What I did while this was charging is I had some lunch, and then I took this beam under here and I put two 4-inch screws on every joist down into the beam, very solid. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a 5.5-inch screw and run it through the ends of the double. And I still have to put my 4-inch screws along the beam that runs right under there. All right, we're cooking. More ways than one are we cooking. This thing is buttoned down, solid as a rock. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere for 200 or 300 years. I don't know. We're ready for insulation. I'm not. It's too hot. It's just too hot. 204. I didn't expect to. Flies. Where was I? It's too hot. I'm drained. It's 2 o'clock. I've been here way longer than I thought. So I'm just gonna tidy up my mess here a little bit, and we're gonna hit this for a couple more hours in the morning. It isn't gonna take long. Have the insulation right there, ready to go. Maybe you've seen it in the background. Yeah, those are 93-inch bats. So I'll have to cut them, no big deal. Okay, well, I'm gonna go take a cool shower, get a cold beverage, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Well, actually, it'll be just a few seconds for you. Don't go anywhere. Well, if you have to go to the bathroom, you can get up for that. Otherwise, don't go anywhere. Hi, good morning. You're still here. That's a good sign. Let's put some insulation in this thing. I'm excited to get this part wrapped up. Beautiful morning. It is probably 60 degrees, 63 degrees, something like that. Can you think of anything else you'd rather be doing on a day like today than working on your cabin? I didn't think so. Oh, by the way, remember all those times I was complaining about my tripod falling over? I got a new tripod. This thing is state of the art. It's like a robot and a computer all wrapped into one. You could actually start your dishwasher from anywhere in the world. No, I'm kidding. Okay, well, let's get to work. Gosh, I love putting insulation in. No, I don't. But it sure feels good in the wintertime. Actually, it's good in the summer too. That ridge cabin, it's amazing how cool it stays for a long time during the day. $6.26, first bat done. I mean, if you have to do insulation, can you think of a better place? I didn't think so. Voila! It's 12 minutes after 8. Not too bad. Insulation is in the floor. This is R21, by the way. This isn't code for any residential around here, so don't be fooled by that. This whole project does not have to be permitted because it's under 200 square feet, 16 by 12, 192 square feet, I believe. So this is R21. Much, 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 much better than nothing. This is going to be cozy for this size of a cabin. It'll be cozy. Okay, now for sheathing. What I would normally do is glue it down. I'm a big fan of gluing down sheathing under normal situations. typically you don't have craft insulation like this that's stapled to the top of the joist. So if you glue this down, it would just be gluing it to this paper. So that wouldn't be doing any good. Okay, I have it all dry fit in. I'll show you what I did here. I left about 3/4 of an inch shy on this end so that I could split this joist in the middle. That way each sheet has something to nail to. So what I'll do, because I'm 3/4 of an inch shy over there, 3/4 of an inch proud over here, I'm gonna rip this off. I'm gonna nail on that end, work my way down, make sure everything's square first before I even put any nails in it, and then cut this off at the very end. 8:45, we're making good time. Look at that. Sheathing is done. Subfloor is done. We're ready for walls. Holy cow. What I'm going to do right now, it may be a few weeks. It could be as much as a month before I start the walls. I'm going to duct tape the seams and I'm going to put a tarp over the whole thing. Last thing in the world I want is for that insulation to get wet. Not so worried about the OSB as much as I am the insulation. It's all wrapped up. Hey, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it if I haven't mentioned that already. Next episode, I don't know. I'd like to get started on that wooden gate, that log gate. I think that's going to be pretty cool if I can figure that out. So I'd like to get going on that. There's a couple other little projects I want to do around here. I mentioned clearing some dead trees here. And there's also a little cliff down. Well, here, let me show you. Okay, so there's the cabin site. There's what we call Christmas Tree Canyon, because there's about 1,000 trees in there between 3 and 20 feet tall. So check this out. There's a little cliff right here. There we go. It's just a little cliff. Right there to the bottom of that rock is probably 10 feet. It's probably 30 feet to the bottom, 40 feet to the bottom of that canyon. So I'm standing on this rock on the cliff, looking back up at the cabin. And check this out. There's a spot right here. It's nice and level. Not only is it nice and level, but it has these good sized rocks all over the place. And it's just screaming for a fire pit. So this just looks like a great flat sitting area. Scenery's not too bad. So put that on the list of episodes coming up. I don't know when we're going to get to that. We can't have a fire this summer, so no emergency on that, but it sure would be nice to sit around a campfire this fall, this winter. That is exciting. I'm looking forward to that. So we have lots of ideas, more ideas than time actually, but we'll get it done. 10:43. Good morning. Good morning's worth of work. Gorgeous day. Well, just like that cabin subfloor, this episode all wrapped up. Well, thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it. Come back next week. You're going to have probably the most fun you've ever had in your life. Maybe not, but it'll be fun regardless. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.